One of the ways we like to explain the 6 types of working genius is to use analogies that have to do with elevation or altitude. So we like to think about like a group of friends who has a private plane, wouldn't that be nice? And they're out on an excursion across the United States. And at some point, one of them exercises the genius of wonder. Now this happens at the highest altitude, at 30,000 feet. And they say, hey, do you think we should take a break? Do you think we should stop at some point? And that's just asking the question. That's all they're doing. It's a very responsive thing. It's like, it feels like maybe we need to take a break. The genius of invention comes down to 25,000 feet, and they say, oh, I have an idea. We should go to Yosemite, and we should land the plane there, because there's a lot of fun things to do. And then somebody says, the discernment person comes down a little closer to the ground, and they say, you know, it's March. It's probably still snowing there. And so I don't think that airport might even be open. And even if it is, there's probably no planes going there. I don't know if they're going to have any services for us or even any fuel. And so they kind of bump it back up to the 25,000 feet. And the inventor goes, you're right. Let's go to Carmel. They have an airport there. There's probably a lot of people there. I've been there before. That'll be fun. There's stuff to do. And they'll have all the services. And the discerner goes, better idea. Now that they've discerned it, the plane's coming down to 20,000 feet. Now the galvanizer says, hey, everybody, we're down to 15,000 feet. Let's make sure that we're prepared to do this. We're going to need somebody to radio ahead to make sure that they know we're coming. Somebody else has to make sure what services they've got there. We got to order ahead. We need to make sure that the runway is ready for us. Let's all rally to do this. The plane is starting to go down. The enablement person says, got it. I'll take care of runway and control tower. And then somebody else says, they have enablement. I'll take care of the services in the area and figure out what we're going to do. Now we're getting close to the ground. And the person with Tenacity says, buckle your seatbelts. I'm going to actually land this plane. Let's make sure that the wheels are down. They're dealing with the most practical things near the ground. That's kind of how any piece of work works. Somebody up here says, what about this? Invent, discern, galvanize, enable, Tenacity lands that plane. Here's the difficult thing. For instance, I love invention and discernment. So I live at 25 and 20,000 feet. Well, I will take any conversation and gear it up toward that. Well, sometimes you got to land the plane. That's probably not my thing, but if I don't realize that, I'll constantly be trying to pull the plane up. Other people, they love landing planes, but they're going to be constantly focused on the tactics of that, and they're going to need help from people a little bit higher in the process. Now, why is that important? Because when we go from 25,000 feet to 5,000 feet in one conversation and back up to 25,000 feet, people get sick. You get airsick, everything gets destabilized. We have to do these things in the right kind of sequence and understand where we are. Imagine you're just about to land that plane in Carmel and somebody says, I have a better idea. Let's go to Tahoe. And the plane goes way up here. That happens at work a lot. It's really important to understand where our elevation is, what part of the process we're in, so we can make that plane decisions, preparation, and landing as smooth as possible.